It's been a rough year for theaters, but that doesn't mean there haven't been great movies. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today, we're counting down our picks for the top 10 movies of 2020 so far. For this list, we'll be looking at the best movies released this year, either in theaters or on streaming platforms. Films that debuted at festivals in 2019 are still eligible, as long as they made American or wide releases in 2020. Number 10. Sonic the Hedgehog. Given reception to the Blue Blur's original design and the curse of the video game movie, it's safe to say everyone's expectations were fairly low for Sonic the Hedgehog, and that's what made it such a delightful surprise.
Meow?
The family-friendly adventure follows Sonic as he goes on the run from the vile Dr. Robotnik, who wants to harness his power. Ben Schwartz is the perfect voice for Sega's mascot, cracking jokes almost as quickly as he moves. But it's Jim Carrey's manic performance as Robotnik that steals every scene.
What do I look like, an imbecile? Of course I want a latte. I love the way you make them!
Sonic's super speed makes for some worthwhile action, and his charisma makes for an entertaining hero.
Did you see how much toilet paper I used? The next person that goes into that bathroom will have nothing to wipe with.
Number 9. Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. While Suicide Squad wasn't exactly well received, Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn was an undeniable standout, so it was only natural to see her return to the role.
It took losing something I truly love for me to see that the target on my back was bigger than I thought.
Only this time, DC didn't restrict her with a PG-13 rating. Birds of Prey sees Harley sucked into a war between an eccentric, psychopathic crime lord and the women trying to take him down. The action sequences are sleek and brutal, the character dynamics often strained and hilarious.
Here, X or something?
You don't know who that is?
Ewan McGregor as the slimy, skin-crawling Black Mask serves as proof that he needs to be a villain more often. But more important is how Birds of Prey reminded moviegoers that Harley Quinn is a lot better off without the Joker.
Fine. It was dumb luck. But still, that felt pretty great.
Number 8. The Assistant. If you're looking for a taut psychological thriller that explores a familiar space, look no further than The Assistant. Ozark's Julia Garner shines as Jane, a recently hired assistant at a powerful entertainment company.
He wants you on the Los Angeles trip.
When?
Tonight.
Following one day in her life, the film navigates workplace abuse, harassment, and sexism, both subtle and overt. Coming in the wake of the Me Too movement, it's a deep dive down the rabbit hole of systematic oppression, showcasing just how deeply rooted the problem is.
His 3 o'clock is here.
Tension is palpable from the get-go, and it's kept at just the right level by up-and-coming writer-director Kitty Green.
I don't think you have anything to worry about. You're not his type.
Number 7. The King of Staten Island.
But I'm still here. I'm gonna be here forever.
Yeah.
Talk about a comedy dream team. Directed by Judd Apatow, The King of Staten Island brings together Pete Davidson, Bill Burr, Marissa Tomei, and Steve Buscemi, with a screenplay by Apatow, Davidson, and SNL writer Dave Cyrus. However, it's a comedy that also manages to be moving and serious. The movie follows a young man's struggles after the death of his father, a firefighter who died while responding to an emergency.
Now let me tell you something, your dad was a hero. And heroes are necessary. And they should be allowed to have families.
Given that Davidson lost his father in similar circumstances, the story is a borderline memoir with poignant autobiographical touches. While the tonal shifts aren't always smooth, the film is buoyed by a standout performance from Davidson, making it a must-see.
Hey, thanks for listening to all this. You're one of the few people who treat me, like a person.
You're welcome.
Number 6. Bakudo. After the matriarch of a small Brazilian town passes, the residents begin to notice strange occurrences. Namely that their home vanishes from GPS maps, cell service stops working, and a UFO begins flying above. If that wasn't bad enough, they're also being hunted by a band of mercenaries. Bakudo is a fantastically absurd genre mashup that preaches the strength of community in trying times. But instead of conveying that in a normal way, it goes all out insane. and seeing just how strange it grows is what makes it a 2020 highlight. Western and sci-fi tropes crash into one another as hilarious amounts of gore fill the screen. Narratively and stylistically, it's unlike any other movie this year.
Something was telling me not to.
Take it easy, man.
Number 5. First Cow. A24 is one of the most revered production companies today, and teaming up with respected indie director Kelly Reichardt, produced one of the most interesting movies of 2020. First Cow chronicles the friendship of a nomadic chef and a Chinese immigrant in early 19th century America.
What's your name? King Lou. They call me Cookie.
The two go into business baking cakes with milk stolen from a wealthy chief factor's prized cow. It's a small, simple story, but their search for glory and riches in Oregon Territory flawlessly captures the beginning of the American dream.
Good Lord, give me another.
And there's suspense throughout from the illegality of their operation. However, it's the chemistry between John Magaro and Orion Lee that sells the story and builds a strong bond between characters from completely different backgrounds.
Maybe this time we can take it on our own terms.
Number 4. Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always. This tough coming-of-age drama follows the young Autumn as she deals with an unplanned pregnancy.
Is that a test from the supermarket?
Yes. I told you it was a self-administered test.
Deciding to terminate, Autumn and her cousin Skylar travel to New York City, and what follows is a gloomy, engrossing story of strength in the face of unwavering uncertainty. The film excels at displaying how lonesome this situation can be for many young women. Newcomer Sydney Flanagan sinks into the role of Autumn, painting her as a fearful yet immensely caring character and giving one of the best performances of the year.
If I do this, would my parents get some kind of bill?
They'd get a statement. That's correct.
Abortion is undeniably a hot-button issue, and Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always traverses it with supreme grace and respect for the women who must deal with it alone.
The sunshine will bring you joy for every girl and boy.
Number 3. Bad Education. Movies intended for release on streaming platforms rather than theaters can sometimes get a bad rap, but HBO's Bad Education stands tall among the best of them.
I think at the end of the day, her memory's still very fresh.
Based on a true story, it follows a Long Island superintendent whose pristine school district is put into jeopardy when an embezzlement scam comes to light.
Your mother lost her job today.
Yeah, not my job, Howard, my career.
The combination of a mundane setting, delicious scandal, and devious characters makes for a darkly comedic satire. And the terrific cast, which includes Allison Janney and Ray Romano, is firing on all cylinders. But it's Hugh Jackman as the proud, lying superintendent trying to cover up the scam that truly shines.
Okay, I know it might look bad all laid out like that, but try and see this from my point of view.
Number 2. Da 5 Bloods.
I dedicate this next record to the soul brothers of the 1st Infantry Divisions. Be safe.
Spike Lee's latest film is a war drama, a heist film, and a timely reflection on race and history all at once. Released on Netflix, Da 5 Bloods follows 4 African-American Vietnam War vets who return to Vietnam looking for treasure. Packed with nods to classic films and political references, both historical and contemporary, it's a sprawling, ambitious movie that feels personal and raw, but also haunting and epic.
Who was that guy? That brother was the best damn soldier that ever lived.
But it's the performances from Delroy Lindo, Clark Peters, Norm Lewis, Isaiah Whitlock Jr., Jonathan Majors, and Black Panther's Chadwick Boseman that hold it all together. Lindo in particular stands out as Paul, their MAGA hat-wearing leader who suffers from PTSD. Consider this a worthy follow-up to Black Klansman.
We give this goal to our people.
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions. The Half of It, a coming-of-age romance with an interesting twist on character dynamics.
Yes! We did it!
Crip Camp, a powerful documentary about a unique summer camp and the disability rights movement.
And it's like, wow, I'm not sure who's a camper and who's a counselor.
Onward, a life-changing, magical quest of 2 brothers and their deceased father's legs.
I messed this whole thing up. Now he's gonna be legs forever.
Well, not forever. The spell only lasts 1 day.
Sorry We Missed You, a touching drama about family, compassion, and capitalism.
Do you know how much you've cost us today?
£100 for a replacement driver, plus a day off, and not to mention a sanction.
Bad Boys for Life. The boys are back for more mayhem and action.
Yo, Mike! Mike! Yo, Mike! The handcuffs, man!
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. The Invisible Man. Universal has tried for years to remake its classic movie monsters. It turns out all it needed was a studio on a winning streak like Blumhouse and a passionate director like Leigh Whannell. The modern retelling follows a woman who escapes her abusive partner only for him to die, leave her a fortune, and begin terrorizing her invisibly. The film is bolstered by an intense, frantic performance from Elizabeth Moss as a woman pushed to the breaking point.
Oh my God. Sydney, are you okay? Why would you just stop, Dad! No, Sydney, I didn't. No.
But it's also a lesson in how to use space and camera setups to produce fear, because the threat can come from anywhere, not even empty rooms feel safe. And it leaves an underlying tension throughout the entire movie. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.